How do you buy your first cow on a budget? It's going to be a big question here recently with how high the cattle market is. And, as a commodity broker for a couple years, I'm used to watching the markets, and we can obviously see anybody in cattle also obviously knows that cattle are at like all-time highs, especially, your regular Angus cattle, some of those niches. They're probably all high too, just all driven off of the baseline cattle market. The cash cattle market, if you want to go buy a calf right now, you're looking at probably $800 to $1,000 in our area for cash, just a cash cattle price for a calf. And some of you, if you've never had cattle before, you might think that's a lot. You might not think that's that much. Well, let's just that is a baby calf. It is not going to produce you any income. It's only going to incur you costs until it maybe becomes a cow, or you fatten it up and sell it for meat. And the only way you're going to make money if you fatten it up and sell it for meat is if your one, cattle market stays high, or two, you have direct consumer process in place, and you are going to ensure that you make money that way. But if you want to start your first cattle herd, I recommend, number one, joining the Agri Summit group. And I don't mean that just to sell you guys on that. Guys, for what it is, for the amount you'd pay, you're going to get a full line education around the cattle industry. And not only that, you get access to a community of people who are ranchers, who are cattle feeders, people who are already actively doing it. They post in questions that they have, and you learn from those questions, and you see those questions. You see the interaction between the ranchers themselves and get some taste of that experience. Not only that, we're starting a new course series in the Agri Summit group. It's going to be 8-week courses. The first one is calculating your break-even cost. Well, that is going to be around anybody for a cow-calf guy, small family feeder. It could be doing something direct to consumer. It could be doing something where you're just taking your calves to the sale barn. Either way, you're going to have to know how to calculate your break-even cost. You're going to have to learn how to calculate your costs and track all that. And that is probably the best way to start before you decide that you want to buy an animal. Because it's not just buying the animal. You have to buy the feed. You have to think about all the other costs that are associated with producing that animal. And, taking care of the animal. So with that being said, that is the best place to start, is to start to learn what the costs are, or true costs are going to be, because you don't want to just get into it and buy the animal and then be stuck with no money left, because then you're not only, kind of stuck, you're also not going to be able to care for the animal the way it needs to be cared for. Because at the end of the day, guys, these guys right there, they are animals. We do need to take care of them. And a true, rancher, a true producer, true, family operator is going to understand that and going to want to take care of the animals. Now, am I biased with the Agri Summit group? Yes. I started it, but I do know the value in it. I do know the value is only going to get better the more members who join. And I actually have a surprise for you guys. I was thinking of this idea of being able to give away an animal to somebody who's never had cows before. Maybe it be, they have their own place that they can find to put it, but they've never had the opportunity to buy a cow before. Well, what if we gave away a cow? What if we gave away maybe a steer? What if we just gave away a steer, and they could either raise it for beef, finish raising it for beef for their family, which would be a huge ticket, or, they could keep it around as a pet if they really wanted to. I know some people would probably prefer to do that if they've never had a cow before. But what if we did that? I don't know how that will exactly look, but I think that would be a cool giveaway. And I'm thinking, maybe around the 10,000 subscriber mark, maybe we could do something like that. So if that interests you guys, I know this is a short video, please subscribe. Please share this with 10 people, You know, the more you spread the word, the more you help me grow this channel, the more value, the more education, the more input, the more entertainment I can provide for you guys, the more stuff I can put on here, and the more time and effort I can put into it. And I really appreciate you guys. At the end of the day, this channel is for helping people. You know, started with my weight loss journey, and now it is becoming more of helping family ranches, family operations prove that they can make money on a small scale operation. Starting with 3 steers, I'm going to prove that you can make money on a system and then scale that up from there. At the end of the day, we're helping people, guys. I appreciate you guys. Until the next one, God bless.